All right, what's up, everybody? Tonight we're going to be looking at a few products from AliExpress. We're going to go through about 20 different products. Some I've never seen before, so there's some interesting stuff in there, and a few oldies that I think are at a pretty good price. Let's kick it off. All right, so as usual, the more you spend, the more you save with these sales. First cab off the rank, we'll have a look at the Surinoya Dark Wolf Pro. 107 Australian dollars. Pretty good value for money. I do have a friend, you're probably watching this, that grabbed one recently and he definitely enjoys it. And I think it's a super high quality reel. Surinoya, high quality products. I definitely wouldn't hesitate to grab this upgraded version of the ever so popular Dark Wolf Ultra. Sick reel, a little bit of a deeper spool, as you can see there, just like the MyEC Exa has a little bit of a deeper spool, so does the Micro Monster. Maybe it's a little bit of a trend that's happening right now. But yeah, sick looking reel, very versatile in its look, can pair with pretty much any rod, and that is that. And it's at a pretty good price, so if you're interested in that, grab that one. Next cab off the rank, Solo King BMC 100. It's an oldie but a goodie. 100 size reel, slightly bigger than your 50 size traditional low profile BFS reels, but it's at a pretty good price. It's not the lowest price it's ever been, but I think recently it's been a bit more expensive than this, and this price, it's probably just about on the money. Would I say it's a bargain? Probably not a bargain, but it is a solid price, solid performer, just like the HIC 50 Solo King Acura. Very smooth, very nice. And yeah, and it's also matte black. We take a look at some of the pictures here. For those that are not familiar with it, it's all kind of like a matte black. It's got a little bit of a carbon fiber kind of look to it, so it's not jet black. It has that sort of carbon fiber sort of look. It's a little bit hard to tell from these photos, but it is a very solid option if you're looking for something a little bit beefier than a typical 50 size low profile BFS reel. Third tab is, there it is, the Solo King Acura. Its price has gone up and down over the years, but it is a, would I buy it for $86? Probably not, to be honest, but just to show where the price is at. Not a whole heap to talk about here. Very solid performer, dual spool reel. Probably, is it the best of the dual spool reels? Best bang for buck? Maybe. But yeah, there's that one. And why have I got this ice fishing inline? You know what? I think I clicked on another reel and it was marketed as ice fishing, and I thought that would be interesting, and it's actually not this reel. It was the MeFine Illusion reel. Yeah, anyway, we'll just ignore that one. Cast King Zephyr, the OG Zephyr. It's a cheap reel, solid performer. Again, black, love the black reels, and it is at a pretty good price. Nothing too much to say about this. Shallow spooled reel, comes in quite a few sizes. Have a look at the price. Not too much price variance with the different sizes there. Pretty good bang for buck. Over to the next one, CISO Prospect, $60. It's just creeping down ever so slightly in price, and I think it is a super good buy. If we have a look here, it comes in a C2000S, which is a compact 2000 shallow spooled model, which is my favorite size for ultralight. Now, compact 2000s, they should be the same body as a 1000 size reel. With Shimano and Daiwa, 2000s are the same size as a 1000, but with the spool being 2 millimeters larger in diameter, which means a little bit easier casting because of that, larger diameter spool just makes the line come off the spool a little bit easier. Also comes in a 3000 with a medium spool, which I do have, and it's very smooth and it's very good value for money. And also there's a shallow spooled version with the dual handle knobs. I would, I don't know why it has a shallow spool on this particular model, but that's something different. Maybe if you're, squid fishing or something like that. It's a little bit of a gimmick having the twin handles, but that's squid fishing, that's egging. We'll have a quick look at some images here because I think it's a pretty sick reel. Yeah, carbon, flat matte black with a little bit of red detail. It's got this really cool handle knob here, TPE knob and carbon handle, which looks sick. It's not just your regular sort of one piece handle, although it is one piece. you could probably detach it here and do something different with it. But yeah, 3 models there. I think that's a really solid performer, and if you were to buy it, I don't think you'd be disappointed. The reason why I clicked this one, the Handing Blast, I think it should be $600, maybe $700. I got no idea. Why is this $513? Let's have a quick look here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, they're all over $500 plus $60 shipping from the Handing store. There's got to be something about this that makes it special. 40-ton carbon, T111 carbon. Is that super expensive carbon? It's got silicon nitride guide rings. Okay, so, you know, maybe it is kind of a premium looking rod, but just thought that would be kind of interesting. It is a pretty nice looking rod, to be honest, but $600. I thought that'd be, sorry, not $600, $530. Might as well be $600. Just thought that would be something a little bit interesting to take a look at. Next one, this is another one I clicked. I haven't seen before. It is the Solo King Ash Moon. Okay, so it's by Solo King. I just clicked it based on the image. I thought it'd be interesting to talk about. $112. Okay, that's, you know, probably the price for a solid reel. Let's have a look here. Like, look at this handle. It is huge. I'm gonna take a look at the specs. What do we got here? We got a version. Oh, it's got a medium spool. Okay, that's interesting. Is this also a clone of the Pure Louisiana? Kind of looks like it. Have I got? Let's grab a Zana. Okay, so I have a Zana right here, and it doesn't. Yeah, I think it is a clone of the Zana. It's kind of, it might be hard to see on camera, but I'm just comparing it, and it looks it does look ever so slightly different, but it also does look very similar to the Zana. Yeah, it's about the same price as the Zana. So what do we got here? We got a 7.1 gear ratio, which the Zana is also a 7.1 gear ratio, I believe. No, the Zana I have is a 7.6 to 1 gear ratio. I wonder if any of these are 7.6 to 1, because usually that is a little bit of a hint as to, you know, whether or not it's a clone. It may look the same, and if the gear ratio is a little bit odd and they're the same gear ratio, chances are they're the same reel. But it looks like it comes in quite a few different, okay, so there's a medium spool version, a deep spool version with a bigger handle, and they come in a few different gear ratios. That's kind of interesting. Let's take a look down here. Come on, where have you gone? Where have you gone? Boom, we'll just bring that up. What are we looking at? Okay, so it's an alloy bait casting reel, jigs, 20 gram jigs, okay. NB bearings, it's got a conical line guide, drag clicker kit, ultra long casting. Okay, so there's a bunch of different models, different gear ratios, 12+1 bearings. Okay, they're a little bit, they're a beefier reel. Okay, so you've got metal ones, metal knobs for sea fishing, and rubber for regular, okay. Alloy sturdy drags, drag adjustment. What is this? Brass pinion gear. Okay, 24 mil spool. It's kind of interesting. Might be, okay, so there's what, 3 different spools? There's a deep, a medium, and a shallow. Okay, that's pretty interesting. 4.7 grams for the shallow, 4.8 for the medium, and 5.5. They're pretty lightweight spools. This is kind of a bit of an interesting reel, to be honest. You might take a little bit of a closer look at that in the future. May even end up purchasing one because the price, it's quite interesting. And you know, Solo King, good products. Next one is the Hybo Arise Ultra Air. This is a relatively new reel, you know, a little bit more expensive, only left-handed in stock. Just have a quick look down here. Boom, boom, boom. So there's quite a few Arise models, and I'm not too sure what the differences are. Just basically because the Arises have been sort of like a $200 to $300 price point for the Australian, so it's been a little bit more on the expensive side, and I've never seen any sort of justification to get one, or never really heard anything so positive about these reels that I've, you know, thought to myself, yeah, I want to get one. Even though this 23 Arise Air with the blue handle knobs looks absolutely sick. Yeah, but that was a new product that I stumbled across. I have seen it in the past, but this one is got to be the pick of the bunch. This MeFine Microbite Aging, $34, whatever it is, 30, 36, 41, 44, whatever. It doesn't matter what model you get. All these prices are absolutely sensational. I can guarantee that if you are an ultralight spinning tackle angler, you're really gonna love this rod for the price. It's insane. I've got the 2.1 meter, 1 to 8 grams, really sensitive, casts really well. You know, you could cast over 8 grams on it for sure. I mean, it's not super optimal, but I was casting 7 grams on it a lot, and also some sort of like 3 grams and that kind of stuff in the deeper water. Sort of half keen to get the 2.2 meter version, but I'm actually getting something that's on the way. You might know what rod it is, but stick around. We're gonna have a look at that a little bit later. Maybe, hopefully I get it this week, but you know, fingers crossed. And it's a little bit more of a pricier rod by Kuying. So that's the reason why I didn't get the 2.2 meter version of this, because that one sort of supersedes it. But yeah, definitely if you are looking for an ultralight spinning rod, no matter if it's a shorter rod at the 5'6" mark, or you're looking for something over 7 feet, this is going to be the best value for money ultralight spinning rod on AliExpress. Like, if there's another one out there, tell me, because I'll be shocked. Okay, there's a DMK reel here. Well, yeah, they're all around. I've got a theory. I shared it with a buddy on Messenger the other day. So the Exa, the Silver Feathers, all that, Pure Lure was selling them, super popular. Now, what's the reason why these other companies, you know, like the Cheetah and whatever, there's at least 2 other companies. I think even, what's that Malaysian company, Team Seahawk. Even Team Seahawk are using these DMK reels. I've got a little theory. I reckon maybe Pure Lure and DMK might have had something like a 1-year contract with exclusivity to these reels, and then the floodgates opened, people saw how popular they were, and then other companies started selling them and promoting them. That's my theory. What do you think? Post it down in the comments below. But this is it's basically the MyEC Exa, but it's who's selling this? It's just straight up DMK. It doesn't have any particular branding on it, but price wise, it's pretty cheap. If this is all legit, which I think it is, I checked earlier this store, and it seems legit. And because it's Choice, I mean, it has to be legit, right? Otherwise, if it's Choice, you should be able to get your money back, no questions asked, if there's anything dodgy going on. So that's why I always try to go for Choice, just a little bit more peace of mind when you're purchasing on AliExpress. We'll just have a quick look down here. It's got some, different kind of marketing than the other reels. There's this one here is basically the MyEC Exa from Pure Lure, but pretty sick looking reels. Actually, all of this Exa actually comes in these 3 colorways. But yeah, that is pretty cool. The white one doesn't look too bad. Oh, DMK limited edition Cheetah, the white one. It looks pretty sick. Let's go on to the next tab. Let's not talk too much about that. Here's another one by Lure Star. It is a DC reel by Lure Star. So a few more DC reels coming out. This one, a Lure Star and Ace Hawk. Oh, okay. Lure Star and Ace Hawk are teaming up to release this reel. Interesting. If it's good, $130 for a DC reel. Let's have a look at some of the specs. It's a TH water drop reel. You see that water drop marketing on quite a few things. It's got a China core. That is quite interesting. So let's have a look here. 8+1 bearings, 139 grams, 4 kgs of drag, and it's got a 1.5 to 20 gram bait weight. So kind of same sort of stuff as the MyEC Exa. Spool size, it seems pretty much the same, 24 mil, 22 and a bit wide. That will be interesting. Hopefully some other guys are going to grab this reel. I'm not terribly keen on grabbing this reel, to be honest, but that looks quite interesting. Pop over to the next one. Now this one, if you're still watching, when you're watching this and this rod, God, I'm stuffing up, it's past midnight, is still at this price, this might be crazy. Now, some of the things you need to look out for. If you look at sold by and it says shop, whatever, it's got a bunch of numbers there. Sometimes that can be a little bit dodgy, especially if you go over it and it says location Turkey, or I think Turkey's the only one I've ever seen, but I believe there's maybe Spain, or there's another country apart from China that that are sort of dodgy. But yeah, if it's China, it should be okay. And because it's a choice item, as far as I know, these items are stocked in the choice warehouse. So, you know, there should not be any issues in getting them. $20. This is pretty insane. Comes in 3 different lengths: spinning and casting. We've got a 5'6", a 6 foot, and a 6'6". If we just go down here and take a look at some of the details here. Now, this handle is very reminiscent of the Mavlos Ultima. Then this coloring is, you know, very reminiscent of the Lewis Star Sigma and Creek Dance. It's got some sort of Creek Dance aesthetic. It's got a little bit of gold there. But let's see how many guides it's got. All right, we've got some specs here. The the spinning model has 7 guides, and the casting model also has 7 guides. So, okay, even though it's $20, it's going to be a bargain regardless. But for instance, if it was $40 and it had these specs, I probably wouldn't recommend it, just because of the guide count. 7 guides on a 6'6" rod, not too good. 7 on a 5'6", yeah, it's okay. But you know, other rods like the one mentioned earlier, the Mavlos Ultima, the 5'6" version has 9 guides. So guide count is pretty important on casting rods. Because, you know, the line sits on top of the rod, whereas with the spinning rods, it doesn't matter as much. It's still a consideration, but doesn't matter quite as much as a casting rod. But yeah, still, I think this is a super buy at $20 Australian, which is probably something like $12 US. Next one is the Pure Lure Titanium T. Did a video on this a little while ago, and it is at a great price. I think it released a little bit over $100, and it's creeped down a little bit, and it's at a really good price. I can definitely recommend this rod. Lightweight rod, titanium tip. It's a low casting weight rod. A few different models here. We've got there's one casting model which I have, the 5'3" extra ultralight casting. Also comes in a 5'3" extra ultralight spinning, a 5'6", and a 6 foot ultralight spinning, which has a 0.7 to 7 gram casting weight. So that's a really high quality rod for that price, and we'll just quickly have a look. That's it there. You can check out, I did an unboxing video and a full review video maybe a couple of months ago, so go and check that out. All right, what is next? Another Pure Lure rod. Now this rod I was using just today. It hasn't been spoken about too much. Hopefully I'm going to release the unboxing and review video on this rod in the next week or so, and it is the Pure Lure Reflex Arc. Now basically, this rod, just like the Titanium T, there is one casting model and 3 spinning models. There's a 6'1" spinning, a 6'4" spinning, a 6'7" spinning, which I have, and there's also a 6'2" casting. Now the deal is with this rod, why is it so expensive? Basically, it's like a flick rod in that it can load fully up and cast kind of like a glass of fiberglass rod, but it is not weighty like a fiberglass rod. It's really lightweight. And the great thing about this rod, I was fishing with it today, just trying to get some first impressions on the rod. It can definitely cast those lightweights really well. I only went down to 1.5 grams on this just because of the situation I was fishing in, and even then it was probably a little bit too light, but it's a really good caster for that particular weight. Now, yeah, it looks absolutely stunning. It's white with this nice navy blue detail. Cork handle, beautiful cork handle. It's kind of tapered. It looks a little bit like a cigar. Well, that's what it reminds me of. And you can see there it loading up. And I gotta be honest, I think this may be the most sensitive rod that I've used to date. Just casting those, I had like a 1.5 gram lead cheb weight on the other day. And you know, lead is not as sensitive as tungsten, and I do use tungsten cheb weights usually, but I had a lead one on and I could really feel the bottom. I was just doing little hops. I thought, what was that, the bottom? Did a little hop, did a little hop, did a little hop, and you can just feel it, boom, 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 hit the bottom. The sensitivity on this rod is really good. Yeah, looking forward to, hopefully I'll use it tomorrow as well. get some more footage, get some final impressions. And if it's not too windy, I'm going to try and cast under 1 gram on this rod. Next one is the, it's just a rollfish handle knob. Just thought, yeah, this was a cool little product. I might be whacking this on one of my other reels, not a BFS reel, a spinning reel. Just had that up there just because I thought it was pretty cool. Mavlos Plume Classic Rod, sick design, and it is coming down in price all the time. Yes, $77. If you're not familiar with this rod, I actually saw an Australian guy, use the spinning version on TikTok, I believe, or maybe an Instagram. I think it was TikTok, and the comments were blowing up. What is that rod? What is that rod? Is it a custom rod? Is it a custom rod? Yeah, it's a custom rod. And I'm like, nah, this is a Mavlos Plume. Check it out here. It is, you know, an eye-catching rod that obviously people like based on that video blowing up. I think it had something like 3,600 likes or something like that, which is, you know, pretty good just for a guy catching a little fish or whatever. But yeah, it's a sick looking rod. I did have the casting version that I gave to a friend, but you know, I'm always tempted to get the spinning version as well because it's just such an enjoyable rod, and it's a very, very nice looking rod. Next one is the Anatoni Silver Rhino. Now this reel is, I haven't had the reel, but it's at a very good price, and Ricardo Review recommends it, and if he says it's good, then I trust his opinion. $50, very good. I think it's perhaps the best value for money reel at that particular price point. You know, like there's stuff that's cheaper than it, sure, but if you can afford this one, I would get this one over those cheaper options. Just because based on his video, the performance looks really good. It's also, you know, a very nice plain silver colorway, something that, you know, goes together with most rods. And yeah, I think this is, if $50 is your budget, then I would definitely put this one at the top of my list to look at. All right, we've got a couple of more. We've got Arcade. This is a really interesting reel. Hadn't noticed it until today. Now, Cadence, is this like an American brand or something? But check this out, 93 grams. We've got a few models here. We've got, it's called the Elves 2.0. So they're all seem to be 5 points. There's a 120 gram version, and then which is $67, and then the 93 gram version, which comes with a deep spool. This is crazy. This is like a gimmick. Okay, here's the Elves. It comes with both a shallow and a deep spool. Wow. Sort of tempted to get this. I don't know. I think I may be disappointed, but we'll take a look here. Upgraded 2.0. Okay, so there was an Elves version that I wasn't familiar with, and check this out. I mean, you know, who knows what palm that is and whether or not it's a human or not, but that is a pretty small reel, light, 93 grams, lighter than 2 eggs. Wow. It's pretty interesting. I have got all of the, you know, world's lightest reels over the years, and this one is 93 grams, so kind of feel a little bit obligated to pick it up. I probably go this Forest Elves black colorway, but it's not mega expensive, so it might be worth rolling the dice and grabbing that one. All right, one more reel. No, it's one more rod to look at. It's the Seeso Zero. This is kind of a new product from Seeso. It comes in spinning and casting, and it comes in 5 foot. I believe 1.53 meters is 5 foot. Let's take a look here. All right, let's have a look. Pretty nice, sleek design, sort of skeleton reel handle. 43 grams, which is really good. The casting one weighs 49 grams. It's got a 1 millimeter tip diameter, 1.53 meters. That might be 5 feet, or around about 1.5 to 6 grams casting. It's got 7 plus 1, so it's got 8 guides on the casting version. So for a 5 foot rod, that's on the money, and the price is really good. I like these grips here, how they just tape it around, very comfortable. I think the Mavlos Resolute has this same style, which I really like. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be picking this up soon. It even comes with a nice bag, so that's pretty cool, especially for the price. Anyway, guys, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you saw a few interesting products. May grab a few. We'll catch you next time.